All right, fam, it's your brother Asad.
And I'm Adrian.
And we are back again with another quick video. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe and hit that notifications bell so that you'll be notified when we drop new material on this channel. Secondly, in terms of housekeeping, I gotta give a special and a significant and a particular and a peculiar shout out to my South African family for all the love you guys have shown this channel, my wife, myself, my children. We greatly appreciate it. Third, in terms of housekeeping, bam, 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 just like that. I said bam, 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 just like that. We got to give a special and a significant and a particular and a peculiar shout out to the rest of the family. Oh man, it was somebody, was it Scotland? I forgot. It was in the comments. There's somewhere in England. Shout out to y'all. So somewhere in Europe, I should say. Shout out to y'all. And shout out to the Namibia family, Botswana, New York family. I think somebody mentioned in the comments, New York. Shout out to North Carolina, Texas, Louisiana, and New Orleans, because that's two separate things. We see y'all. We appreciate y'all. I got to remember where that country was, man. So, yeah, I think that's all. Anything else for housekeeping?
No.
So what have we been up to? It's been a couple of days since we posted. We usually post a little more than this, but usually around once a week, once every 6 days, but it's been a couple of days.
Ish.
You know, but man. So what's been going on? Last time I talked to y'all, I was telling y'all about the hailstorm in my car, right? So that has been one ordeal after another. One ordeal after another. So we decided to go on and trade it in.
Yeah.
But in the process of trading it in, right? So one company, I ain't gonna say their name, We Buy Cars, decided, I ain't gonna say it was We Buy Cars, but yeah, them.
Something like that.
It was something, I don't know if that's the name of the company, but it might be that We Buy Cars company. Yeah, they tried to lowball me on the trade-in, right? You know, they tried to lowball me on the trade-in. So then I took it, well, actually, I took it to the place where we bought it first, when we first bought the car. They, in fact, lowballed me, but I didn't know they were lowballing me, right? Yeah. So they offered me X amount of dollars. We Buy Cars offered me 20,000 Rand cheaper than them. Yeah. But let me show you how God works, huh? Do not touch his favorite, and not favored, his anointed.
Oh, gosh.
Do not touch his anointed.
Not the anointed.
Do not, because I took it to the so how can I explain this? Modus. We're just gonna call names. We can't Modus. I took it to Modus, and they offered me 100,000 for the vehicle, right?
It looks terrible.
It looks terrible. Right? But 80,000 was lowballing. I took it to another Modus. They said, we can offer you 110. And then the lady turned her computer screen around, because they look at your car, they do an assessment, like when you're trying to do a turn in to try to see what the value is or whatever have you, blah, 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 blah. Right? So, and I know the car lost buku value, a lot of value, because it was really, really damaged. I'm talking about, it looked like the car got cellulite.
Yeah,
missing pieces and everything. The inside is pristine.
It looked terrible.
The outside took a beating.
Like a jaded lover. And somebody took a bat to your car and was like, "Oh, okay."
A Jada Smith lover.
Jaded lover, angry and passionate.
But yeah, so I know it lost value. But so the lady, so they did the little thing. They did the assessment. And she came back and she said, she turned the computer screen around. She said, the computer suggests 115, but my manager will only offer 110. I said, I don't know if she was supposed to do it, but she did it for me. She did it for me. So I was like, all right, cool. I don't want no cars there. So I went somewhere else. I went to another Modus. And what I did was, since I had the knowledge that the computer said it was 115, I went in there saying I want 115 for the car. Right?
They trying to act like Oh, I don't know.
I said, look.
Oh, no, I saw your system.
I already
All
saw what the system said. And I made sure when I left, when the lady told me 110, I made sure. I said, so now if I go to another Motors, because I told her the deal wasn't going to work out. So it was a Black Friday deal, but I had to finance. If I want the car that I wanted, she wanted me to, in order to get the price that they were advertising, you had to finance. And I wasn't trying to finance. I wanted to, buy the vehicle. Right? So I said, now all these, your system connected? She said, yeah. So if I go to Motors in Cape Town, they'll be able to pick it up. She said, yeah. I said, all right. All right. Well, thank you, ma'am. God bless you. God have a happy Thanksgiving. And I left. And in the car, I'm driving and looking for other vehicles at Motors because now I know how much the system says. So I know I got an advantage. So when I went I ended up driving way to Pretoria East. I mean, Lord have mercy.
It felt like such a journey.
It was, because it was like traffic. It was traffic going. It was traffic coming back. It was just a long, I didn't realize it was going to be that far. When I put it in the thing, it said an hour, and it was really all of an hour. I was like, this can't, because Pretoria is not that far. We live in Midrand.
Right.
Pretoria is not that far. I was like, oh, no, it's right there. But no, there's like,
deep into it.
It might be like going on the other side of Pretoria. Yeah, so when I got to the dealership, I was like, yeah, I have a trade-in or whatever have you, whoop de whoop. And I said, but look, I already know what your system says. Say 115, that's what I want for it. And he said, well, we know we have to do our own thing. I don't know what you got to do, but I know what the system say. You mean to tell me you think you smarter than the computer? And so
like, I'm pretty sure we can get you.
And bam, 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 just like that, I got the 115,000 rand for the vehicle, which was great because, and when you look at the math, the cost to fix it or whatever have you, and then so let me tell you about the insurance, right? So let me tell you this. So
yeah, because I was like, we could just keep it and get it fixed and just keep the car and not worry about it.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that.
Yeah,
I didn't want to do that. Number one, because we had a Honda HRV. And we got it, and we were happy with it because it was, we just needed a car here in South Africa. Yeah. But we didn't come from driving little small Hondas. Like, I didn't. She had an Audi Q7, right? A big old car that
my car.
And I had a Silverado. Y'all don't even have Silverados in South Africa. A Silverado, what y'all call a Ford Ranger, my Silverado make that look like a baby toy car. You understand what I'm saying? I had a big old Silverado. And when we're talking about power and performance, well, I ain't gonna say necessarily about the performance, but power, like, boom, you hit that, you tap that accelerator, boom, sound like a lion roaring, right? So to come with this little HRV, and we on the M1, and I need to get over to pass somebody,
You can't jump out in front of somebody or cause an accident.
I can't get over till I don't see nobody in the rearview. If I don't see nobody, then I can get over. If it's somebody approaching at all, I gotta wait. So no, I needed something with just a little more power and a little more size. Like we drive big cars in the United States, right? So what you're used to is what you're used to, and you just can't really change that. So even in the Honda, when we're driving around town, I always felt vulnerable. Not as vulnerable as like a Polo or what's it, Agya, Agya, the Toyota. They look extra vulnerable. Yeah. But I felt a little vulnerable in the Honda. So where I was going with this? Oh, but then I wanted another one. Just a little step up. A little bit bigger, more room, a little more power or whatever have you. And I'll tell y'all what kind of car I got when I actually get the car. Because, here, you can't walk off the lot. Well, I guess if we would have just had cash, they don't even take cash. They only do EFTs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, and because the money's coming from the U.S.
Yeah, it take a little while.
It take a little while. Yeah. So, anyway, somebody sent me a WhatsApp. So I was like, well, anyway, that's the story. I forgot why I know it was some tangents I went on.
You wanted a new car. I was like, we could keep it, get it fixed.
Oh,
I
so
wanted
in
to get
terms
it
of the
right.
price, like the price so we actually had somebody that looked at it and told us how much it would cost for us to come out of pocket. Insurance company, that's what I was talking about. So the insurance company, I called them way last week on Tuesday morning. Hey, I need to file a claim. I got a text message and all of these little things, and I'm like, okay, when y'all gonna tell me to come in and do the adjustment, right? Because so let me explain. I want to be clear. I come from a place that does this all the time, right? So in New Orleans, it will rain for 20 minutes and all the streets will be flooded. And if your car was parked on the street, it's flooded, water damage. So what would happen? Organizations like Progressive and the General and what's the other one? Allstate, USA, they'll send out from all over the country.
They hired people like temps.
Right.
Because it's a citywide disaster.
It's a citywide
thousands and thousands of cars.
And this don't happen like once or twice. It's happened in my lifetime often. I've lost so many cars. That's why,
So they'll bring people from all around the country to come for that weekend to knock these things out.
So if the rain flooding incident happened on a Monday, by Wednesday, an adjuster's at your house.
Yeah.
An adjuster's at your house, and they coming out and be quick. I remember I had a Toyota. And he came out, he opened the door. This is all he did. He opened the door, he touched the seat, he touched the floor of the car, right? The floor of the car up under where your, like right where your feet and the pedals are, right? He said, oh, that's wet? Total. It's a total. He said, because if I don't total it now, you'll be calling us for the next 6 months with problems. He totaled it out. That was that day. The next day, the check was in the bank. So I could go and buy another car. You see what I'm saying? Quick, fast, in a hurry. Why is that important? Because there's people in this estate with cracked windshields. I'm talking about shattered windshields. They can't see. How they getting to work? How they getting their children to school? If they got a doctor's appointment, how they going to the doctor? You see what I'm saying? So they would send out these armies of adjusters to come in and then bam, 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 just like that. Bam, 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 just like that. It's done. I called way last week. Do you know? Then they gonna call and I had to keep calling, right? I called last week and I kept saying I'm gonna wait. I told her this is your opportunity now. I said, okay, you want to get this car fixed? If I don't hear from these people by Monday, that's off the table.
Like that's my fault.
That's not your fault, but I'm saying that's off the table because I want me another vehicle. But I'm gonna try to be, hey, we gonna try to get it fixed and just roll with it. When I hear from them people on Monday, yeah, oh no, that's a wrap. So finally. I heard from when did I hear from?
You called. And
I called.
They were like, oh,
yeah, I got a call. Why am I calling you? You see what I'm saying? Why am I calling you? You supposed to be calling me. If I miss a payment, you gonna cut? You want your money every month on a certain day. Well, when it's time for you to pay me, I want the same treatment. I want the same respect. So I called them and they was like, oh yeah, you can bring it out on Thursday to driving somewhere out. I don't know. It was in Midland, but it was far. It was a 30-minute drive for me. Yeah. So now I'm driving all this inconvenience for me. What if I had to go to work? Like, you know what I'm saying? Now I got to take off of work and drive over here to you for you to do your job. I got to come to you for you to do your job. That don't make no sense to me. That's not right.
Okay,
that's
but
not.
You got there.
So let me tell you, I got there. And before the man, he said, before he even looked at the car, he started making excuses. He's like, I just want to let you know that the earliest we can get your car in to be repaired would probably be the end of February. I said, the end of February? This big old city? I know y'all got probably about 50,000 auto body shops. Right. You mean to tell me the end of February? He's like, well, you know, it's December coming up. Make it make sense. You mean to tell me, I can see if you would have said, well, next week Christmas. I could respect next week Christmas, so but the whole month of December, I gotta be inconvenienced? Oh, hell no. Hell no. This ain't the way that's supposed to work. No, indeed. No, indeed. So
it's a little outrageous, though.
I proceeded.
Well, you know, December. So I got to discount the whole entire month
of December. and January.
January.
And
there's a billion auto body shops around here. So I'm like, we could have driven out to Northwest Province if we needed to get this thing fixed sooner. Like,
I'm saying, like,
I don't get it.
Or better yet, so I said, because I had already taken it to somebody to look at. You see what I'm saying? To tell me how much it was going to be to fix. I like to know the numbers. And the guy was like, it's going to be X amount. You can bring it in to me. Because really what happened, we was at a dealership, and I saw him, and he was there to fix some of the hail damage on a dealership's cars that were outside, and the hail started to hit. He was there to fix that. I said, well, bro, let me holler at you. Woo. Here, can you look at my car? Tell me. So I already knew that. He's like, oh, you can bring it in tomorrow. You can bring it in. He said, I'll probably have to hold it for about 6-7 days, but I can get you squared away. I was like, okay, cool. And this was a big old, man.
Anyway, you're getting off. Don't
But
be
it was
on subject.
Hey, I'm sorry because I was so amazed at the size of this man in a little bitty car. It wasn't his size, but it was the size of the car that he was in. Y'all got to skip. I'm sweating because I just got through working out. But it was the size of the car he was in. But anyway, very, 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 very nice brother. Very nice white boy. I think it was Afrikaans. Anyway, so I forgot.
So end of February.
End of February. No, that ain't gonna work, man. That's not the way this works. That's called inefficiency. I gotta wait the whole month of December, the whole month of January, and he said the end of February. So that's basically the whole month of February. And he was like, because, this was a major incident, and there are a lot of calls. And I'm like, wait, how does a lot of calls in front of me? I called on Tuesday. How y'all put them in front of me? How? How many people I called Tuesday morning? They must have called Monday night? But damn.
But the hailstorm didn't affect all of Johannesburg.
That's what I'm saying.
I talk to people all the time that were like, oh yeah, y'all got that bad over there in that part of Midrand. So coming from a place where an entire city,
a whole city gets flooded.
You talking about at least 1 million people.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe 1 million cars.
Well, I don't know if 1 million people, maybe about 300,000-400,000.
But that's if it was only Orleans Parish.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But we're talking about hurricanes that hit Jefferson, St. Tammany, all those parishes.
And people, 1 million cars. Yeah, you're right.
So they were able to mobilize nationwide to get things done.
And do it quickly, in a matter of days.
I think it could happen here too.
It need to happen.
It's only a section of the greater metropolitan.
It really was just Kyla. I mean, what I thought. Boston wasn't even the whole thing. You mean tell me you can't do it? Huh? Get some of them brothers that's at the corner with the sign. Tell them they can look at the car and tell you whether it's good or damage. You can train them in 24 hours.
There's body shops in Joburg South. There's body shops all over. Pretoria, we can't go there to get this done.
I was outdone.
It was very interesting.
I was outdone. That was not a good experience. But what was a good experience was the car when I went to about we went 3 days. I was all over Joburg, Kempton Park, Germiston. We ended up in Pretoria East where we actually bought the car, but all over looking for a vehicle. And I had given up yesterday. I had gone to this place near Kempton Park, a Modus out there. And I saw a car that I wanted online. It was advertised as a Black Friday sale. So I get there, and like I said, the lady said she'd give me $110 for my car. I was like, ooh, yeah. And then she said, so are you financing? I was like, no. She was like, well, the price the car is advertised for, the advertised price is only for if you were financing. So I was like, Lord, you mean to tell me? First of all, the roadway out here, I had never been over in this little area, and I felt nervous, It looked like we don't see that many potholes over here. I done hit buku potholes in Josie. I hit some serious ones, but we don't really see that many over here, like the Midrand area or whatever have you. But over there, they had some serious monsters. I was like, do they not just take care of this area? What's going on? What is going on? I think they neglect certain.
Get this 100.
You know what I'm saying? I think they neglect, right, because I don't want to hit nothing and hit the pothole and now they deducting. Now they deducting.
50. Oh no.
But they got it. Oh Lord, I'm sweating hard. So anyway, so I was feeling defeated. Like, dang, Modus is the only place that's offering me the money that I want or whatever have you, or what I really think a fair, because it's what I'm sure even in the computer system, a profit is built in. You know what I'm saying? So, I got on the phone with Adrian because she wasn't with me, and I was like, well, yeah, that's dead. And she started looking, and she found a Honda
What's a CRV?
CRV. And, I was like, you can't really get excited about no. You can't get too excited, It's all right, cool. Yeah, that's nice. It's like when your son bring home a C+. You know what I'm saying? But
No, some people will flip over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Maybe that's just us.
Okay. That's the best you could do. But so then I just happened to look for, because I won't tell you the car, but I was looking for a specific car, a very specific vehicle, or a brand of vehicle. So I found it, and I was like, yeah. I sent it to her, and I was waiting on her reaction because I knew I liked it, right? And I was waiting for her to say whether she liked it. If she didn't like it, I would be like, okay, it's not a sign. So she said, oh, I like this one. I'm on my way. So I'm coming to pick you up. I picked her up. We had to go pick the children up, dropped them off at home, and we took that ride all the way to Pretoria East. And and we got a vehicle. So it
was like one of the best experiences too at a dealership.
Smooth and
really
easy.
Smooth. The people there were very helpful.
They gave me the money that I wanted.
Yeah, we're willing to negotiate a little bit, even outside of that.
Outside of the price that was advertised.
A lot of folks here do not want to. Well, not with us.
Right.
Maybe it's just us.
I think Moses told me trying to negotiate with an American accent is like trying to negotiate with a Bugatti parked outside. That's what he told me, right? So I was like, okay, but this place even negotiated. I was like, oh, no, that price is a little too high. What we gonna do about that? You know what I'm saying? And he didn't really take off the price, but like the registration fees and all that type of stuff. He reduced that.
A little effort.
But see, and I was already like, well, I'm going from We Buy Cars offering me 80 to you guys offering me 150, right? Which is 35,000 Rand difference. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, shoot, I'm already like feeling like I'm up. But yeah, so that's our car story, man. What else is going on? Man, it's 22 minutes already?
It took you that long to tell that quick story?
Oh, man. Lord have mercy.
It took you all that time to go down that yellow brick road with the people.
Well, anyway, I want to talk about Tyla and the water song, but maybe we'll do that next time. What I'll do is I'll do this quick thing, because now there's a Twitter beef was a Twitter discussion between African Americans and South Africans about the term colored. Tyla is colored. She's not black. She's South African. She's an African, but she is not black in South Africa.
Yeah.
In America, she black. Right? So, and I know South Africans say, no, she's colored, blah, 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 blah. It's about spaces. When you in one space, you this. When you in another space, is that. And it's not so much about whatever she identifies as, we respect that. Right. So I think the problem is the terminology colored. And I want my South Africans and African Americans to pay attention, right? So the terminology colored for black people in America has a different connotation than it does in South Africa. All right, that's commonplace. But why are people getting so, why are black Americans getting so riled up about it? And here's an example that I wanted to use. The K word. Now, I won't use it here because I know it's an offensive word, but the South African family, you know what I'm talking about. The K word, right? In South Africa, that means something. It has a history of a derogatory, vicious history from apartheid. And even before apartheid, it has a vicious history associated with that word. In the rest of the world, it just means unbeliever. I'm Muslim. It's all throughout the Quran. You go to Istanbul, you go to talk to any Muslim in the rest of the world, in America, it don't have that connotation. So, vice versa, colored in the United States has a connotation to it, associated with it. It has some textures and layers, and that's why it's such a resistance when it's that, and it's also that when somebody says they're not black, even though aesthetically they look black to us, it's like feeling like, oh, you're rejecting us. That's part of it, right? That's just the rejection. But the terminology colored itself, if you want to understand why it's such a visceral reaction, think of the K word. Think of the K word and how it affects you here in South Africa, and how it has none of that weight in history elsewhere in the world. You see what I'm saying? And so just to understand why Black Americans are feeling like, oh, I don't like this. And so, but as us, we understand color is a separate connotation, but all the Black African Americans ain't been to South Africa. Half of them don't even know where it is. They think it's a geographic direction and not a country.
Yeah,
like,
I told people, I'm in South Africa.
No, what country? Like, the country is South Africa. Right.
Oh.
So, so they don't, so definitely, if they don't even know what a country is, they might not even understand that there's, around the world, there are different racial categories, and like in Brazil, black means one thing. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. China got different races. China got do y'all know that? China got different races. I didn't know that, but I know it now. But guess what? When they come to America, they all Chinese. They speaking different languages. They from different parts of China, everything. But they come in and they, yeah, they beefing. What's the main one? Han, yeah. So them, yeah. So, but when they come to America, it's Chinese. I mean, that's how things become categorized and organized in the U.S. Mm-hmm. Right. So the issue with Tyla is that her song is big in the U.S. It's big, so she, to no fault of her own, because I don't think she's even made a statement on it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's no fault of her own. But once the song made it to that space, then the discussion, I knew it, didn't I tell you though?
Yeah.
I told her, I said, man, this is going to be rough for her. Because the moment they hear her say she colored, it's going to be all kind of problems. Black Americans going to reject it. And, you can't educate 40 million people. Even if I educated South Africans on what the K word means in the rest of the world, you still going to be like, I don't like that word. You see what I'm saying? Right. You're going to still be like, I don't care what you talking about. Here, that word is problematic. Mm. And that's the way it is with the word in the United States. So that's the reason why there must be discussions and dialogue, not Twitter debates. That's not the way it works. You don't get nothing resolved like that because, Twitter, social media, the new outside. And, like when somebody try to correct you, if they don't do it the right way outside, you feel embarrassed. Now you just want to retort and not listen and not learn or whatever have you. You just want to be right. Yeah. And you don't even argue the point. You just argue. Right? So, that's why I think there has to be discussions and true dialogue on both sides, education on both sides. You know what I'm saying? So that everybody can kind of learn to understand as the world opens up and we have all these new interactions with people that are our relatives, but who we haven't seen in a while. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like who are relatives and who we haven't seen in a while. It's like the cousin who moved from the South and he moved to New York. They different. You know what I'm saying? I like Southern Black people. You know what I'm saying? I moved to South Africa. I like Southern Black people in America. The other ones, they cool, but they different from us. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, family, thank y'all. And I like New Yorkers too. Let me stop playing. I like New York. New York is one of my favorite cities. Miami too. But Southern people.
You talk about different.
Miami, a whole different world.
That's a different world.
That's a whole different world.
Yeah.
And like other places with race, like Dominicans. People that get mad at Dominicans for saying they Dominican and not saying that they black. Mm-hmm. Because in the Dominican Republic, race has a different connotation. You know what I'm saying? The Dominican Republic would treat black Haitians horribly. Mm-hmm. Horribly. Right? That's another story. But when they say they're Dominican, they identify as a nationality and not as a race. So we just got to understand how these social constructs, these man-made ideas manifest themselves in different places, in different regions of the world. And once we understand, and that's a hell of a lesson to learn, right? To learn how people identify worldwide, that's a hell of a lesson. That's a PhD course in human interaction and human identity. So give people time. You know what I'm saying? On both sides, everybody needs to give people time to understand and recognize, oh, okay, it is different there. You know what I'm saying? Or it's different here, or whatever have you. All right, family, peace.